Okay, hope you all are okay. Today I'll tell you what an OIETC is, how we can conduct, how they are conducting an ELLT speaking test. Okay, so I'll just go through all the four modules of ELLT. Okay, and then I'll go specifically for speaking. Okay, my next video I'm planning to do for the reading text, so you'll be getting good inputs regarding reading so that it will make your ELLT reading very easy. This time I'm going to give you a good idea regarding how ELLT speaking is. Okay, so please subscribe my channel, okay, for getting further knowledge regarding OIETC ELLT tests. Okay, this time it's speaking, next time it's reading. Okay, and OIETC means Oxford International English Test Center, and they conduct a test called ELLT test, that is English language level test, which is accepted by most of the universities in UK. So if you want to plan, if you've got a plan to go to UK and to get admitted in any of the universities, you just check for the website of that particular university, and in the requirement they would have written like, we need ELLT test. Okay, for those universities you can take ELLT test where there is no need for going for a coaching, or you don't have to spend any money for going for a tutorial or coaching and all. You just watch this video, okay, and my next video as well, so you'll get a good idea regarding speaking and reading, and I'm planning to do another video regarding listening as well. Okay, right, now just going through reading and listening, initial two skills. There are four skills for ELLT, and the first two skills are initial two skills of ELLT are reading and listening, and they're automated. We cannot do anything. They are automated tests. It is controlled by a machine rather than a person. So whenever you get into this ELLT test, okay, you will get a reading and listening test. Okay, right, and then we can go for the next module, that is writing. Okay, so we have discussed regarding reading and listening a bit, automated test, because I'm not going that much into this thing because my next video will be regarding reading and the next video will be regarding listening, okay, as well as writing in coming videos. Okay, right, and this video will focus on speaking. Okay, writing is something which is an assessment based on a unique written task and is submitted directly to the examiner for analysis. So they will ask us a question where we have to write it and we have to type in all the answers and we have to submit it so that the examiner will check. Now, speaking also have a session which they will ask you some questions regarding the answer that you have written. One thing mainly is because they just want to know whether we have copied the answer or somebody else has helped us. Okay, to avoid this thing, what you have to do is you yourself has to do this writing test, okay, and you have to submit so that you will be having a good idea regarding what all things you have written, so that in the speaking test they will ask you some questions based on the writing that you have submitted just now. Okay, right, so you'll get 1 hour for writing and you have to write, and you don't have to seek help from others, because even if you're seeking help from others, the problem is when they ask you some questions regarding writing, which is a part of speaking, okay, you have to answer that. Okay, now we'll go for the speaking test. Actually, it can be booked by the student at a time slot which is most suitable for the students. Okay, you can book the slot, whichever slot is suitable for you, whichever time is suitable for you, you can book the slot, and the speaking session always will be with a live examiner. Okay, so that means the reading and listening are automated tests where they will give you questions and you can give answers, no examiner involved. And writing, they will give you a question, you have to write the answer and you have to submit, no examiner involved. However, speaking test is a live test where you have to interact with an examiner. For this, you can take a slot which is convenient for you. You can book that according to your convenience. Okay, right. And then it basically speaking consists of three different stages, and the total time they're going to take is 14 to 15 minutes. They can't go beyond 15 minutes. Okay, maximum time it is 15 minutes. Okay, in total. Okay, you don't have to worry regarding the speaking test because the examiner will be really friendly. Okay, they will be really supportive. Okay, and they will tempt you to speak more. Okay, so you have to speak for 14 to 15 minutes, the total speaking session, and we will now analyze what all questions they are going to ask you. Okay, right. And there are three different stages of speaking, right? And I'll tell you regarding the first stage. The first stage is called ELLT Speaking Test Part 1. The examiner will ask some questions about yourself. For example, introduce yourself. Please introduce yourself. And some other familiar topics such as your hometown, okay, or maybe the university you are going to apply, okay, or your academics. It is better to answer the questions in detail and go for innovative ideas while giving the answer. Give answers in more than one sentences because they are doing the speaking to understand your communication skill. I'll give you some examples. Suppose if they're asking you regarding the university that you are applying to. Okay, right. So they will ask you which university you are applying to. You can say I'm applying for the UCLan University. You can say I'm applying for the Teesside University. Okay, now the next question is, why do you apply for Teesside University? Then you can speak about the ranking of Teesside University, okay, the courses offered by Teesside University, or maybe you can speak about the atmosphere, the infrastructure, facilities there, all those things. Okay, right. So you should speak in more than one sentences for the session 1 questions. Okay, that means simple. It should not be a one-word answer. Okay, right. And these are some sample questions for your information. Like maybe they'll tell you like, let's start speaking. Okay, yeah. So let's speak about the university you are applying to. And these are some sample questions they may ask you. To which university you were applying for? And why did you choose that particular university? Why did you choose UK as your academic destination? Okay, and how this course will help you in your future career? Okay, or which are the modules that made some interest in you? Okay, right, in this course. Or maybe they will ask you some questions like maybe your hometown. They may ask you, where is your hometown? Do you like your hometown? Or do you often visit your hometown? What is your hometown like? What is the oldest place in your hometown? Or how could your hometown be improved? Is there a good public transportation system in your hometown? Or do you think your hometown is a good place to bring up children? So all these questions they may ask regarding hometown. To be noted, they will ask you regarding only one subject. Maybe it will be regarding the university, or maybe regarding your hometown, or maybe regarding your childhood. Okay, did you enjoy your childhood? What is your first memory of your childhood? Or what did you enjoy doing as a child? Or do you think it is better for children to grow up in the city or in the countryside? Okay, yeah, so suppose they're asking you regarding the childhood thing, they will ask you some sample questions like this. Okay, right. And so our first part is over, where they will give you one subject and they will start asking the questions. Okay, maybe they will ask you maybe 5 to 6 questions or 7 questions where you have to answer in more than one sentences. Okay, not one word answer anyway. Then they will tell you, let's go to session 2. Okay, right. Now in part 2, a topic will be given to you and you have to talk about the topic for nearly 3 to 4 minutes. Don't worry, the topic will be really easy and you can make points in a paper, and looking at that points you can speak. It's not like extempore speaking where you have to speak like that. You can make some preparations, you can write the points on a paper, and looking at that points you can speak. Okay, so how to speak for 3 to 4 minutes? Okay, this is what students ask me. I'll say, why is the golden word? Why is the golden word? Students will tell that maybe I'll be able to speak for 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes, not more than that. Why will help you? Why? Suppose if I say, suppose if the question is regarding, suppose the transportation facilities, or maybe, regarding artificial intelligence, okay, or maybe regarding a trip that you have planned, okay, a trip that you have planned in future, okay, right, maybe that is the question. I'll tell you how to answer that. Okay, so you can say a trip that I'm planning to go in future is to Switzerland. Then you should ask yourself why. Why Switzerland? Because Switzerland is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Okay, and it has got good scenery, good places, good climate. Okay, right. So I would like to go with my friends. Why? Why? Because my friends, usually we go for a trip, we've got a team, and we usually travel around the world, so it is good for me to travel with my friends rather than my family. Okay, we are very close friends. Okay, right. So we would like to go in next December. Why next December? So you ask these questions why to yourself, so that you will get more points to speak. It is easy to speak for 3 to 4 to 5 minutes. If you ask yourself after each and every sentence, if you ask yourself why, you will get more answers to speak. Okay, right. And after this session, I just want to rewind what we have studied. Session 1 is they will give you some questions. They will ask you some questions based on a topic. Maybe hometown, maybe university, maybe your childhood, maybe a trip, or maybe sports, or maybe school, something. Then they will tell you that let's move to the part 2, where they will give a subject. Okay, for example, a good decision that you have taken in your life, or maybe, for example, a trip that you would like to go, a place that you would like to visit in future. Okay, right. Or you can say a big company in your hometown. So you can speak about that. You can make points for 1 minute. They will allow you for that. Looking at that point, you have to speak for 3 to 4 minutes. And the easiest method is to ask yourself why, and you will get more points to speak. Okay, so after the first session, they'll move to the second session. After the second session, the third session, that is the final session, and your examiner will ask you 2 types of questions for 4 to 5 minutes, which will be led by your examiner. Okay. There are 2 parts for this thing, and the first part will be related to the topic. For example, suppose the topic that was given to you in the part 2 was regarding a trip you would like to go in future. You can expect some third session questions based on the topic, like it was trip, it was traveling, So the questions will be like, how technology helps a person while he is traveling, or maybe, are you a person who plans well before traveling? Okay, right. So these are some questions that may ask, which is obviously related to the part 2. Okay, so they may ask you 4 or 5 questions based on the second session. Okay, so you have to answer it maybe in 1 or 2 sentences, or 2, 3 sentences, or 4 sentences if possible. Okay, another type of question that they are going to ask you is regarding the writing that you have submitted. That is why I told you that whenever, I mentioned it earlier as well, whenever you're submitting your answers, you should have a clear idea regarding what all things you have written. Even if you're taking help from somebody, what happens is this examiner will ask you questions so that you'll not be having any idea regarding what you have written. So better you should write it and submit it, and you should remember all those things that you have submitted, so that it'll be easier for you to answer these questions in the third session. Okay, right. And tips and tricks to make third session speaking easy is because you can extend it, like you can give them examples, or you can say connectives also. What do you make connectives? If you're moving from one point to another, you can use the words like apart from, or you can say besides. Okay, this will show that you are an expert in English speaking. Okay, for example, suppose the third session question was how technology helps a person while he's traveling. You can go for answers like technology helps a person. Many ways the technology will help a person. For example, when he is traveling through a route which is unknown, the GPS, global positioning system, will help you. It will help a person in directing him to the destination. Apart from that, see the connective. Apart from that, technology helps you to book the ticket or book a hotel room. Besides, it is possible for us or a traveler to understand regarding the culture and climate of the destination. See, this is how you should use Connectives. Okay, you can also give examples as well. Okay, and you can also give future predictions, like in future the government is going to give more ideas or more inputs and more infrastructure facilities to this place, so that it will attract more international and domestic visitors. So you can also give some future predictions. These are some methods where you can implement so that you can speak easily more and more and more in more sentences. Okay, and these things you have to remember while you're going for a speaking session. You have to use a good headphone. Okay, use your headphones while you go for ELLT speaking test, because the questions that are those questions asked by the examiner should be clear to you. So you should always go to a silent place, and you should use a good headphone so that the questions asked will be very clear to you. Okay, and just go through your writing answers once again to get a clear idea of how to answer for the questions for that particular session. And one more thing to add is, suppose if the examiner is asking you some questions and you didn't understand it, absolutely no problem. You can ask the examiner, sorry, could you please rephrase it? Or sorry, could you please repeat it? Okay, absolutely no problem. You will not lose any marks for that. Instead of guessing an answer, you can just ask him to repeat or rephrase, so that he will repeat it or rephrase without any hassles. Okay, this much things you have to keep in mind while you are going for ELLT speaking. Okay, please subscribe my video. The next time I'll come up with some easy tips and tricks to get good scores for your reading also. Thank you. All the best.